Hello students, we have been continuing with refraction of light at plane surfaces. Let us discuss further topics in it. Here we will do a small activity. What I wanted to do is take a coin on the table and try to place a glass tumbler on the table. Try to see this coin from sides. The coin may not appear to you. What you do is you pour water in this, the coin appears over here. This is due to a phenomenon called total internal reflection. We will see what is the advantage of this total internal reflection. Because of the total internal reflections, you have something called as mirages formed. Mirage. Mirage is formed. How this mirage is formed? Sometimes when you are traveling on the road, you will see that there is on a hot sunny day, you will see that there is some water accumulated on the road. But when you go there, you don't find any water. That is called, the thing that you see as water, that is called mirage. We will discuss how mirage is formed. On a hot summer day, let us say you have a tree here. This is the ground. The air that is close to the ground is hot and less denser, and the air that is above this hot layer of air is cool and more denser. So the light that is coming from top of tree, instead of bending over here, it undergoes total internal reflection like this. Instead of coming down, it undergoes total internal reflection because the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle. So it will undergo total internal reflection. Now the light that is coming from here moves like this, and this seems to be coming from the ground. Our eyes cannot see this bent trail like this. For our eyes, for the person who is standing here, it appears as though it is coming from the ground. So on the ground you find something, the inverted image of the tree like this. This phenomenon is called the formation of mirage, and this is due to total internal reflection. Now we shall discuss our next topic. We shall discuss the applications of total internal reflection as well as lateral shift by a glass slab. First let us see about lateral shift for a glass slab. Let us take, for this you need chart paper, pins, glass slab, chart paper, pins, glass slab, and you need clamps, drawing board, etc. What you have to do is take the drawing board and fix the chart paper. Let us say this is the chart paper that we have fixed on the drawing board. Now take the glass slab and draw the boundaries of it. Mark it as A, B, C, D. Draw a straight line perpendicular to one of the side like this, and try to observe this straight line from the other. Fix two pins here. Try to observe the straight line from the other end. Wherever you see the straight line, fix two more pins. Remove this glass slab and join the line. You will get a straight line like this. Now what you do is, instead of drawing the line straight, draw the line making some angle. Draw the line making some angle like this. Fix two pins here. try to observe this from the other end of the glass slab. It appears to be over here. This will be bent. And you will get the ray over here. Try to see these points on the other side of the glass slab. Let us call this as PQ. Let us call this as RS. Now you will observe that after removing this, these two rays are not in straight line, but they are parallel to each other. They are parallel to each other. Okay. This angle is called angle of incidence, and this angle is called angle of refraction. Here this angle is called angle of incidence, and here this angle is called angle of emergence. It is like this. The ray is like this. Let's say this is the glass slab. You are drawing a normal here. You are drawing one more normal here. Angle of incidence, angle of refraction, angle of incidence, angle of emergence. This is the angle of emergence. Okay, you will see that all of them lie in the same plane like this, and if you extend these two lines, you will observe that these two lines are parallel to each other, and this distance is called lateral shift. This distance is called lateral shift. Angle of incidence, angle of emergence, these two refracted angles, they all lie in the same plane. Hello students, we have been discussing about refraction of light at plane surfaces. Today's class, let us discuss some of the applications of total internal reflection. Applications of total internal reflection. Here, if you see a diamond, the critical angle for diamond is only 24.4 degrees, because of which the light that is falling on the diamond, it undergoes total internal reflection, and that is the main cause of brilliance of diamonds. Now next is, it is used in optic fibers. Optic fibers are very thin fibers made of plastic or a glass. The light that is entering the optic fiber, it undergoes total internal reflection, and bunch of such optic fibers is called light pipe. This light pipe is used to observe the internal organs that are placed that are inside our body. It illuminates the parts, and we can see that on the monitor on the screen. You can observe it on the screen. So that is the application of total internal reflection that you have. You can mix 2000 telephone signals in a light pipe. That is also another application of total internal reflection. Sometimes when you see under the aquarium, you can see that the fishes will be above the water surface. They appear to be in the reverse manner. This is also due to the total internal reflection. Now we shall discuss what is vertical shift. For this, measure the thickness of a glass slab. Place the glass slab like this, ABCD on a paper, and draw the boundaries. Now take a pin, place it over here. See this pin from other side. The pin appears to be, wherever the pin appears to be, try to place the second pin on the straight line, which is in line with this pin. The distance, extend this line, the distance between P and Q. This will give you the vertical shift. Now what is the use of vertical shift? You can calculate refractive index by using vertical shift. Refractive index is equal to thickness of slab by thickness of slab by thickness of slab minus vertical shift. This formula is used for finding refractive index of the glass slab. So that's about this concept. With this we complete the chapter refraction of light at plane surfaces. So that's about it, children.